welcome back to my channel. My name is Dia, and this is going to be the April TBR. And TBR in the fact that I have nothing else to read. I am currently on a move across the country from Austin, Texas to Idaho State, and we're currently in Colorado. So this is just a little cabin in the woods that we are staying in right now on our way through. And so I am stuck with whatever the library has to offer. And so I'm doing all audiobooks right now. Not my favorite format, but it is what I have available to me. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'll be putting up a little picture of the books as I go because I don't have physical copies of any of them. And Tiffany walked me through it again on how to do it, so I'm gonna put those up for you. So let's just get right into it. I have probably 10 books on my current list. I have some things on hold. And my dog is being a little bit of a pill. Okay, so let's just jump right in. The first book that I have, I've actually already completed, and that is A Shadow in Summer by Daniel Abraham. I believe that this was his debut novel, and it is the first book in his series, The Long Price Quartet. And I loved this book. It's just a brilliant novel, especially for a debut. I found that I didn't want to stop listening to it. The characters in this book are multi-layered. I completely fell in love with one of them, and I am anxious to go on in the series and find out more. Alan from Library of Alexandria really hypes this novel, really hypes this series. And he constantly gives people a bad time about overhyping things to the point where he doesn't want to read them. And so I'm pretty sure that that's the reason why it took me so long to pick this up, is because he just kept hyping it and I didn't want to pick it up. It was Alan's favorite book and it was Alan's favorite series. And so he was right, I was wrong there, I've said it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to moving on in the series. Okay, next book is The Liar's Knot, and this is book 2 in the Rook and the Rose. It is written by M.A. Carrick. The first book in the series is The Mask of Mirrors, and it was one of my favorite books of 2021. It's a Venetian carnival world, and there is, this is gonna sound like a joke, there is a con artist, a vigilante, and a crime lord who walk into, no, I'm kidding. The three of them are pretty much the main focus in the book. The three of these main characters have to band together in Liar's Knot to overcome an ancient dark magic that is threatening their world. I am loving The Liar's Knot as much so far. I'm not very far into it, but so far I'm loving The Liar's Knot as much as I loved Mask of Mirrors. And the third book is due out later this year. I just love it. I love it. It's so good. So that is book 2. Book 3 I read is Son of Shadows. And this is a book by Juliet Marillier that is set in the same world as one of my very favorite books, and that is Daughter of the Forest, which is a retelling of my favorite fairy tale, The Seven Swans. Sometimes it's 6 swans, sometimes it's 7 swans. It depends on who's telling the fairy tale. I believe Son of Shadow, the second book in this series, is about one of her brothers. And so I'm looking forward to it. I hope it doesn't completely ruin everything for me, but I am looking forward to reading Son of Shadow. Okay, the next book is Fate of the Tearling. This is book 3 in the Tearling Trilogy by by Erika Johansen. And it is not supposed to be a very good ending to the trilogy, but again, I really enjoyed the first book, and it leaves you on a little bit of a cliffhanger. So I was looking forward to this final book in the series, and then I heard that it wasn't very good. So who knows? I'm going to find out for myself. So that is Fate of the Tearling by Erika Johansen. And book 5 on my list is A Game of Fate. I heard about this book from Elliot Brooks, and our tastes are usually pretty similar. I can usually trust her, but she hasn't read this book yet either. This is also on her April TBR. So it's a retelling of Hades and Persephone. This one is by Scarlett St. Sorry, I didn't say that. And I enjoy Greek myth, and I enjoy Greek myth retellings for the most part. But when I was reading the synopsis of this one, I found that it might be a little overly sexualized. And if that's the case, then I'm probably going to DNF it. But I am going to give it a chance, and I am going to try it out. So that is Game of Fate by Scarlett St. and is a Hades and Persephone retelling. And then I have Gilded by Marissa Meyer. I'm a fan of what I've read of Marissa Meyer, but I don't know what Gilded is about. I just know that it was available and it was by somebody that I recognized. And so I am going to give it a try as well. Okay, number 7 is News of the World. And this is about a man who's a captain of a ship, and he goes around to different ports and takes the news of the day to those port cities so that it can be spread from there or printed from there or whatever. And he, at one port, I believe in Texas, which is where I'm coming from, and I believe that he is charged with taking a young girl to a different port city to meet up with either a relative or somebody that's adopting her. I don't really know that part, but it's about their journey together and the relationship that develops between this kind of old codger captain of a ship and this young girl. So I'm looking forward to that. Sounds good. My next 2 books are rereads for me. The first one is Rumo and his Miraculous or Wondrous Adventures, and it's by a German author named Walter Moers. This is the second book in the Zimonia world, the world of Zimonia. I'm not sure what the name of the series is, but I think that's what it is. I'm not positive, but I think so. The first book in the series is The 13 and a Half Lives of Captain Blue Bear, and I adore that book. It's my favorite out of the series. My daughter got in contact with me and said, "Mom, this is so much better as a physical book." And I said, "Yeah, I know, but I don't have the physical book with me. I do have the audio, and it is a reread, so I'm going to do it." It is a crazy, witty, so just off the wall kind of story, and they all are, but I'm looking forward to Rumo and all of his adventures once again. And so that is second book in the Zimonia series by Walter Moers. And the next one is Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, which is a classic written by Kate Douglas Wiggins. And it's about a little girl who goes to stay on a family farm, and just kind of things that ensue and people's hearts that are changed. as a result of her. And so I'm looking forward to this. Again, this has probably been 15 years or so since I read this one. My kids were still being homeschooled the last time I read this. I've seen the Shirley Temple version of the book and I really enjoy it, but it is nothing like the book. So I'm looking forward to reacquainting myself with Rebecca. So there's that one. Next one is Martian Child, which also has a movie that I thoroughly enjoy. It has John Cusack in it, and it's written by David Gerrold, and John plays David in the movie. This is a semi-autobiographical novel about a single father or a single man who adopts a boy who is troubled, and the only reason why he is troubled is because he's never known love. And so he feels that he must be an alien because nobody loves him. So I'm looking forward to reading this because I want to know if I love it as much as I love the movie version. So that is that one. The next book that I have is Savage Beauty, which is the life of Edna St. Vincent Millay, who was a a poet in the early 1900s. And she, I believe, was the first female poet to win the Pulitzer Prize. So this is written by Nancy Milford. So I'm looking forward to reading about Edna St. Vincent Millay from Nancy's perspective to see if I enjoy that version of Edna. So the next and the very last book that I have right now, anyway, I have some books on hold at the library, so if they come in, I will be probably reading them as well. But the last book that I have for right now is another Daniel Abraham. It's his latest release, and it is Age of Ash. I haven't heard great things about this, which is kind of startling to me because his writing in Shadow of Summer or Shadow in Summer was fabulous. And so it's kind of hard for me to imagine that he could write something that isn't, but I will find out for myself and I will let you know when I do. So I don't know anything about Age of Ash. I just know that it is the beginning of a new series that he's writing, and I know that it has had very mixed reviews. So we'll find out where I fall in that. And that's everything that I have right now. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay? Thank you. Bye.